Hey Tracy, Chris here, Berkshire Hathaway. Just wanted to say thank you, first of all, for watching the video. And second, thank you for being an appraiser. It is a pretty thankless job. When things don't go well, everyone's mad, including potentially your boss. And if everything goes right, no one usually even says thank you. So I wanted to do that now. But I'm just going to start with, first thing I wanted to talk about is why I priced the home the way that I did. And Schoolcraft, if we look at what's going on in Schoolcraft as far as demand goes, which is pretty important to understand when it comes to pricing, we're looking at every house selling between the average house selling between $300,000 and $500,000 in 1.2 months. There's about 3 months of inventory, 2.4. That's in Schoolcraft Township. And again, we have the same numbers in Schoolcraft schools, 1.2 months for a sale, and we're looking at 3 months of inventory. So this is evidence of an appreciating market. And of course, location is a huge determining factor in value, as you're well aware of. So just to kind of talk about what's happened and historically since my clients have purchased the house on Westfee, we're looking the average price was $173,000 when they purchased, and now the average price for that same area in Schoolcraft Township is $117,000. So it's a 25% increase in sales price, and this is pretty much identical from the mean and the median. So this is a very true average. It's a very reliable average, I should say. Same thing, between 2015 and current, we're looking at 33% increase in sales at 65% or $65,000 on average. Again, the mean and the median, very close. This is a very reliable average. If we take a look at their current home, there's a few misnomers on the previous listing, and I'm sure you already know most of this stuff, but if we take a look at the bedrooms, one, they have an extra bedroom. Two, if we look at what's going on here as far as the square footage, this is off. This needs to be closer to 3,000. It needs to be closer to 2,900. Ooh, it's hard to draw with the mouse. 928 is what the above grade square footage is. And so oddly enough, if we take this square footage and we times it by this, what they originally said that the price per square foot was, we come to about $330,000. So like pretty much identical. But if I look at other homes that are currently on the market, so the competition of what this house, Westfee, has to compete with, we sit really well at the 130 mark. I mean, we just blow, for example, this house on Highland Circle, this house doesn't have any acreage. It's been on the market about 6 days. It's on the market for $329, so right where we are. And then we blow it out of the water when it comes to price per square foot, because we have 120, we're at $112 price per square foot above grade, and they're at 124. Again, no acreage, smaller home, less bedrooms, less bathrooms. Westfee, this has more square footage or more acreage, but again, we blow it out of the water when it comes to price per square foot. The amenities look, in my opinion, the house looks aesthetically more pleasing, at least the buyers thought so. That's why they picked it over this one. And price per square foot, or the square footage, again, we just blow it out of the water. So when pricing this house, obviously it was somewhat of a challenge because of its age. And I'm assuming that's going to be a big factor for you when it comes to pricing it. Let's take well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, that's just completely different. Anyway, so I'm getting distracted. So I'm assuming that's a big deal for you when it comes to pricing it as well. But although it was built in 1869, there were plenty of additions between now and then. And I can't tell you what was first, what wasn't, but for all intents and purposes, it's an 1870s home. Aesthetically, it's an 1870s home. However, practicality and the amenities that the house provides, it's really an early 2000s home, because that's when all these updates started to happen. So you have updated electrical, new Romex run throughout the house. There's zero knob and tube wiring in it. You have new insulation throughout the house, which is a feature only found in newer homes. I don't even think you have those in 1970 homes. Insulation in the walls and the attic. Refurbished windows, refurbished siding, asphalt / gravel driveway. So we just have a bunch of stuff that the sellers, prior to my owners purchasing it and the current owners, my clients purchasing the home, that really make this house, in my opinion, more comparable to a newer home. So new appliances, new furnace, water heater, really anything that would make a new house comfortable and usable, practical, is this house has in it currently. So the aesthetically, yes, I get it. The aesthetics and the ground that this house is built on is the thing that make it a 1870s home. But everything else is a newer, more modern house. And so why I think they bought the house for below market value has a lot to do with where this price and this intersect. So if you times these two together, work the numbers backwards, the price per square foot drops to $75 price per square foot. I think it's like it's some change in there. And if we look at what we can find for that, given that in 2015, this would be one house you'd be able to purchase for $150,000. And it's significantly smaller. I mean, we're talking 18 square or 1,800 square feet above grade. It was on the market 68 days. Here's your price per square foot. It's 80. It's not that I can't really judge the aesthetics of the house. 4 baths or 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. So again, I mean, it's just not a large home, and there's no acreage. It was built in the 1980s. This would be another one in town, talking 1,400 square feet for 120. I mean, it's just not a large home, it's small. And so, I mean, we can just kind of see that there's just for $75 a square foot, there just isn't a lot out there in 2015 that you would have been able to purchase. Like this is what you would have been able to purchase. You wouldn't have been able to purchase a $200,000 home with 5 acres for $75 a square foot. It just didn't exist. And we're talking almost at this point, if you could purchase something that was this nice or this large with this much acreage in 2015, we're really talking about a foreclosure market or a foreclosed home. And that just wasn't very common in 2015 either. There just weren't a lot of foreclosures, but I digress. So those things, and then plus I want to send you an email with there's about $25,000 worth of upgrades that the seller did. And just given all that information, I just believe that we have a reasonable case that this house is worth $330,000. And so I'm just asking you to take every creative liberty when pricing the home, and at the same time keeping the highest professional excellence and ethics. So I greatly appreciate you listening. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.